The Mediterranean Sea is one of the most exposed areas worldwide to the problem of marine litter. In fact, it's recently defined that the concentration of plastic, and particularly microplastic in the Mediterranean Sea, is almost on the same range of the 5 oceanic gyres. For this reason was born the Plastic Buster project.
Marine litter is one of the biggest issues that the Mediterranean is facing these days. It's an issue that is not yet fully understood. It's certainly one of the defining problems of the pollution of the Mediterranean these days, and that is why it has received and continues to receive increasing attention at the international level.
The project Plastic Buster is led from the University of Siena and particularly from the United Nations Network SDSN. The project is devoted to mitigate the impact of marine litter in the Mediterranean area, involving southern and north Mediterranean countries on the issues of marine litter.
Marine litter is mainly made of plastics, and what is happening at sea is that plastic is fragmenting and degrading. And at the end, instead of having one large piece of plastic, you may have thousands of microplastics. I think it's quite urgent to take some measures and research for better management and reduction measures.
Plastic Busters was adopted by the 43 countries of the Union for the Mediterranean, was labeled by them in February 2016, and this is a very important recognition of the importance of the issue at Mediterranean level.
The project Plastic Buster was articulated in 4 main actions that moving from the diagnosis of the problem to the potential solution at basin scale.
Very wisely, Plastic Buster as its flagship project. Actually, SDSN related to Plastic Buster, it's one of the few scientific contributions presenting solutions, allowing how to identify, how to map, and it is also giving a sort of very geographical, local solutions.
The first action is to cover the existing gap on the knowledge of the impact of marine litter on the Mediterranean Sea. Will be devoted to identify the presence of hotspot area and particularly to identify the impact of macro and microplastic on the Mediterranean biodiversity. That is the main goal of the project, using marine organisms such as, for example, fin whale as bioindicator species.
Most of the impacts are related to ingestion of litter by marine organisms, but also entanglements. And we do have the problem of billions of microparticles that are floating at the surface of the Mediterranean Sea, transporting different species in different areas, enabling colonization, this kind of impact.
One of the main focus of this diagnostic phase of the project is try to identify the effect of plastic and microplastic on edible fish species, in order to understand also the potential consequence to human health. The mitigation action is an essential rule of the Plastic Buster project that was devoted to reduce and mitigate the impact of marine litter in the Mediterranean Sea. Several demo actions will be, for example, the application of the fishing for litter activity. The fishing for litter will be involved also in another important aspect that will be the circular economy, because the plastic that can be recycled and reused to produce new items.
Basically, the overall idea is, for example, to explore the feasibility of a plastic bag levy, or how we can reduce the use of plastic bags, or, for example, how we can put in place the extended producer responsibility scheme, or also to try and mitigate the impact of marine litter in marine litter hotspots through fishing for litter activities or through targeted recovery of ghost nets. The Plastic Buster project not only will enhance scientific knowledge on marine litter, but it will also seek to strengthen the science policy society interface in terms of putting concrete solutions into practice. Practice and operationalize the two main legislative frameworks. This is the Marine Strategy Framework Directive and the respective programs of measures of the countries, but also the regional plan for marine litter management in the Mediterranean. And also to showcase how all Mediterranean countries can work together in a coordinated manner.
Many countries from the Middle East and North Africa region, they put the plastic waste in their top priorities. And if there is no adequate solid waste management practices, we will have, of course, dump sites, and then, of course, definitely we will find waste in the sea. So we need to develop common strategy that could be translated into national programs and strategies. And I think that projects like Plastic Busters, SweepNet and Swim Horizon 2020 support mechanism, we are creating a platform in the Mediterranean Sea, a platform where experts, institutions, governments, researchers, NGOs and private sector also are contributing to tackle the problem of plastic waste.
And finally, one of the main final goals of the Plastic Buster project will be to give support to the government action to reduce the impact of marine litter on Mediterranean scale.
The way governments have mobilized and the international community has mobilized itself promises through both legislative initiatives such as the Regional Action Plan and action on the ground such as the Plastic Busters project promises to be relevant and impactful.